Hello, friends, and welcome to the latest edition of the Boot Room, the show where we look ahead to Ipswich Town's game at the weekend. This weekend, it's Crewe Alexandra away, a huge game for Ipswich Town and a huge game for Paul Lambert. Have to avoid losing 3 in a row. Again, another promotion rival up. My name is Mark Heath. With me to break down the game is Stuart Watson. And Stu, let's waste no time at all. Let's get into it. No doubt about the main talking point ahead of this game, other than Paul Lambert's future, and that's the serious striker shortage that Town are facing. Obviously, after Caden Jackson's reckless red card against Sunderland on Tuesday night, Town go into this game really with only 2 recognised strikers, Aaron Drinan and Freddie Sears. I say recognised, but of course, Freddie Sears has mostly played out wide for Town in his career so far. He is, though, probably the most natural striker at the club. A lot of fans saying that we should start Drinan and Sears up front in a 4-4-2 tomorrow. That's probably not what Lambert's going to do. It'll either be Drinan or Sears. We'll talk about that next, though. Stuart, what do you think will be the starting 11 that Lambert puts out tomorrow?
Well, there is a half chance that James Norwood might be fit. There was, I'm not convinced by that because Paul Lambert was saying Friday morning, a day before the game, that they'll have to see how he does in training and we'll see how he feels. So I'm not convinced that they're going to take a risk on his hamstring problems just yet. You're right, it's going to be 4-3-3. Paul Lambert is absolutely wedded to that. I don't see any change. And I think it will probably be a continuation of Aaron Drinan because you get the sense, listening to Lambert, that he sees Drinan as more of the lone striker that can link the play and can hold the ball up and can occupy centre half. So we saw Aaron do all of that when he came off the bench in midweek. It's just the lack of a goal threat perhaps that comes from him. So if I'm going to have a stab at the lineup, it will be Holy in goal. Chambers, Wolfenden, McGuinness, those centre half pairings are nailed on at the moment because Toto Nsiala is still out with a hamstring problem. James Wilson's still working his way back from a knee injury. It sounds like there's going to be a change at left back. Stephen Ward has, having started his Ipswich Town career really well, tailed off of late. Perhaps understandable for a 35-year-old churning the games out in such a high intensity position. So we might see Miles Kenlock come into the side at left back. Midfield 3, Dazelle and Downs, I think will be perhaps the two of the deeper midfielders. And then it's a case of who plays in the 10 ahead of them. I imagine that John Nolan might get sort of dipped out. He came off just after half-time in midweek. He's obviously had calf and groin problems and things himself. So maybe we'll see Teddy Bishop come back into the side. Maybe Alan Judge. My preference would probably be Bishop there. Edwards and Thomas look nailed on as the two sort of direct running wide men at the moment, and we've talked about Drinan up front. I know people have talked about sort of alternative formations. You've mentioned 4-4-2. Wing backs might be an option if you wanted to get 2 up front, keep your 3 in midfield. We're talking about maybe dipping Ward out. Wing backs would be a solution to some of that, but that would be a big ask for Gwion Edwards and Luke Thomas to play those wing back roles, I think.
Okay, then, Stu, prediction time. I say it's a big game for Town coming into this off the back of 2 defeats, a 3rd straight defeat. They really have to try and avoid that. Crewe were unbeaten in 10 before they got tonked 4-1 on Tuesday night. They'll be looking to bounce back at home. Town going into this game, as I say, without really any recognised strikers or strikers that have scored effectively. So, unfortunately, I can't see anything other than another Town defeat in this one. I just can't see them scoring. And as the saying goes, Stewie, if you can't score, you can't win games. So I think this is going to be a 1-0 to Crewe. I think it'll be a close game, but I just think the rub of the green will go against Town. How about you?
Crewe are well up there in terms of the best teams I've seen this season. How Ipswich won that game 1-0 at Portman Road earlier in the season, I'm not sure. Perry Young has left their right back. He's gone to Cardiff to the Championship. Harry Pickering looks like he's on the way to the Championship amidst Blackburn interest. They have had that setback in midweek. I'm going to go for a draw here. I certainly can't see Ipswich scoring more than once. and you can't see them keeping a clean sheet. But the last few performances have been reasonably spirited, and I think that might be just enough for them to get a draw in this one.